reformers have taken to the stage in Bratislava to voice support for their country's leading pro-Western party, Progressive Slovakia. With just a few days to go before parliamentary elections, it is trailing in opinion polls. So while the mood here seems relaxed, scratch the surface and you'll find people are troubled about future dangers for Slovakia and for Ukraine.
Vieme, aké postoje majú voči Ukrajine iné strany, že sú veľmi proruské z môjho pohľadu, takže mohlo by to dopadnúť veľmi zle aj voči Ukrajine, aspoň to je môj názor.
Pozerám trošku s obavou, lebo bojíme sa toho, že bohužiaľ tá demokracia môže sa po týchto voľbách môže dostať facku. No, ak sa Slovensko posunie, alebo respektíve ak sa tá orientácia Slovenska nejakým spôsobom bude orientovať na východ a na Rusko a tak ďalej.
The Direction Party of former Prime Minister Robert Fico is the favourite to win the elections on September the 30th. He has criticised Slovakia's arms supplies to Ukraine, which include air defence systems and MiG-29 fighter jets, pledging that not a single bullet more will be provided.
Prečo pre Boha nejdeme rokovať o mieri? Prečo stále len rozprávame, že akú muníciu pošleme na Ukrajinu, aké tam pošleme tanky, koľko miliárd eur pôjde na ďalšie vyzbrojovanie? Je naivné si myslieť, že Rusko odíde z Krymu. Je naivné si myslieť, že Rusko odíde z území, ktoré kontroluje. Tak mi vysvetlíte, na čo je to zabíjanie dobré.
Fico presents himself as a peacemaker, but his party has repeated unfounded Kremlin rhetoric about there being a fascist regime in Kyiv. Talk like that leaves Vyacheslav Moisenko incredulous. He fled here from Ukraine in the first days of the war, and his mother's house was bombed and looted by Russian troops.
Они должны приехать в Украину, эти политики, просто пройтись там или посмотреть на это все, они думают, может, их обманывают, там, что происходит, что города просто исчезают. Был город, нет города. Что это? Это 21 век, это что это такое вообще? Это вообще, я не понимаю этих политиков, если честно.
But recent opinion polls suggest that many Slovaks do understand the political messaging of Fico's party. One survey in March showed 51% blamed the West for the war in Ukraine, and 66% thought that Washington would drag Slovakia into the fighting. Meanwhile, ahead of the vote, Slovaks have suffered from high inflation, largely attributed to the conflict.
Hello.
Progressive Slovakia leader Michal Šimečka remains upbeat, but acknowledges the scale of the challenge facing him.
Lots of people are disillusioned with politics in the country, legitimately so, one might say. And if you add to this frustration, if you add the difficult social and economic conditions, if you add the geopolitical anxieties, and if you add also disinformation plus Russian propaganda, this is a very fertile ground for any populist.
The outcome of Slovakia's election will largely depend on whether Fico or Šimečka can cobble together a governing coalition with other parties. The foreign policy implications mean that the post-election negotiations will be more closely observed than usual beyond the country's borders.